Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for coming back for another episode on how to do your cornhole boards. Last time we got everything fit up, got everything cut, you got your material list, we got the board assembled, the board itself assembled, we got your legs on. Today we're going to be sanding and we're going to knock down these rough edges. They're just a little bit uneven, no big deal. When I sand, I use 120 grit sandpaper. That does pretty good. I only go over it once. That usually gets everything. If I need to, I'll grab 180 and I'll go back another time. But usually 120 will get everything you need it to. For these uneven edges, it's kind of hard to see. We got just a little bit difference right here. You can sand it out if you want. You're gonna spend all freaking day here. Or you can run over to Harbor Freight. You'd probably get them, I would imagine, at really any lumber store. This is a multi-use grinding disc. You can do concrete, you can do wood. I think you can do a little bit of metal and steel if you need to. I don't remember exactly what the package said. I've had this several years. It does an amazing job. So first things first, I'm going to go through. When I told you want everything even on one side, everything on the top side of this is flush, and I said that because when you get down here, nobody's perfect. Everything's going to be just a little bit off. Like I said, no big deal at all. So we've got a grinding disc for it, or you can use your sander. It's whatever you want to do. Back. Alright, now that I got everything sanded down, we need to burn this before I can do any painting or taping or anything. So, as I said before, this one is a Mr. Heat weed burning torch. It is liquid propane controlled. You got your on and off knob right here. This particular model doesn't have its own ignition system, so I just use a regular butane torch. You can use a cigarette lighter, you know, whatever you need to do. Watch your hands. If you turn this gas on, light that sucker immediately. Don't let it set, or the propane will build up and it will make a big poof. So, turned on, get this lit. We're gonna get this burned. That way we can get moved on and start taping and painting. your board is burned, what you're going to want to look for is imperfections where it did not exactly get burned as much as you would like it to. If I can get this thing to focus. For instance, right here on the end of your 2x4s, on every one of them, this is not going to burn as fast as an outside one. So take your little torch, come through here. You sucker lock. Alright, so come through here, take your little hand torch or your lighter and darken them up. You don't have to, I do, I think it looks better. You can see this knot right here, it is not exactly as dark as everything else. So what I'm going to do is, while this thing cools down where I can get some paint and some tape on it, I'm just going to go around, darken up the lighter areas. This foot right here, for instance, did not get the heat it deserved. So I'm just going to go around. We're going to darken these up a little bit. Alright guys, I'm not going to do the other side yet. That is super hot still. I'm going to let this cool down. I'm going to go inside and grab something to drink. When this gets cooled down, I'll do the other side and I'll be back here in just a second with some tape and some paint. Alright, so I've got everything masked off for the black. I said it was going to be a one coat and done. I lied. I forgot that I need to do white stripes and white stars. So, no big deal. What we're going to do first, we're going to do our black coat first, which will be our base coat. And then we will step away for a little bit and let it dry. After that, I will come back and I will redo all of my tape and then we will do the white. I don't know where the camera cut off. I just noticed a while ago, but I did lose some footage while I was taping this. These lines, if you start at your top and work down, the thickness of this line is 1 7/8 inches. If you repeat that all the way down, you'll end up with the appropriate amount of stripes. And they will be somewhat even. Your very bottom one may be just a tad bit smaller or thicker depending on how you do your lines. But unless you break out a tape measure, you're never going to be able to tell the difference. Alright, now that we have 2 good thick coats on it, we're going to let this set up before we rip this tape off. No, I've never done this design before. I've done lots of flags, but this whole black thing is, this black square thing is throwing me off a little bit. So, it took a little bit of tweaking to do, but she's done. It looks good. Like I said, we're going to wait for this to dry, and then we'll be back here in a little bit, and we will rip this tape off. When you're putting your tape down, the most important thing is to, on the edge of your tape, is to make sure you run your finger up and down that real good and get it to stick to that wood, so it's a very, very clean line. If you don't do that, you'll pull this off and you'll have little runs under it. You're always inevitably going to have runs no matter what you do, but the more time you spend on this tape, the better your lines will look. I've used all kinds of different tape. The tape I'm using now is just simple, what is this? It's just simple duct tape. It's contractor grade that they use when they tape off something to paint with. So it's doing exactly what I'm doing, exactly what it's used, what it's made for. And it works, it's cheap. The blue tape is about $6 a roll. The stuff I use is about $3.50, $4 a roll, depending on your area. Like I said, it works just as well. You don't have to have the fancy blue tape or the green tape or none of that crap. So we're going to let this set up, and then we're going to pull the tape here in just a little bit. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get this tape pulled and see what it looks like. I use latex gloves. I don't want this crap all over my hands when I decide to go inside. But you guys don't have to. It's completely up to you. So far, so good. Our lines are looking crisp. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. I'll show you later close up. Got a little bit of run here. It's not terrible. Like I said, it will happen no matter how hard you try to prevent it. Our job is to minimize it. Little drips like this you're not going to see unless you're up close and looking for it. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Come on now. If you pull this too early or too late, you risk runs or peeling the paint completely off the board if it has dried to the tape. So the most you want to wait is about 15 or 20 minutes, and then you want to pull it off. Oh, you little sucker. Haha, there we go. Alright, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to tape off the white. I'm going to tape off this black section. Probably put a piece of paper over it. I get a big piece of cardstock that I use. I don't want any white on this at all because this is going to remain black. Yeah, that's going to remain black. To the touch, this is pretty dry. It's a little tacky where it was real thick. What I use is just regular old Walmart brand Krylon. It works fine. Dries in 8 minutes, so there you go. I get the gloss enamel because I want it to be a little bit glossy. If you're at Home Depot and getting everything, you can also use Rust-Oleum. It'll look just fine. Like I said, I use the high gloss. I get the highest gloss I can get because I want it to look really fine, really sharp. The polyurethane we put over the top of it definitely helps the gloss, but if you have matte paint, you're just missing out on a really interesting showpiece that you can talk about. So I'm going to get this taped off. Then we're going to get everything, I'm going to get the stars set up, and we're going to blast it, and that will wrap everything up. When you are taping for your white stripes, you don't want to have to go back 3 and 4 times retaping and repainting, so it is crucial that you get your tape on your on your first color. It's crucial you get it as tight as you possibly can so you don't have to keep jumping back and forth. I learned that the hard way. Take the time, do it right, heed my warning. I promise it'll pay off in dividends. Okay, so I'm back. I've got everything taped off. Like I said, this is a brand new design to me. This is one that the lady picked out specifically and sent to me. I guess I didn't have to burn the whole thing. I could have just burned the outsides. But for demonstration purposes, you guys know how... You better go home, girlfriend. Sorry, it's my niece. But for demonstration purposes, you guys know how to burn it now. Not that big a deal. So we're going to get this white paint down. I said you don't have to wear latex gloves. When I do these stars, this paper never really sits down flat. So I 100% use gloves to hold this paper down and spray it so I don't end up with paint on my hands. The gloves might be kind of hard to find right now with all this pandemic crap going on. So I think my wife got these in Walmart by the laundry soap and dish detergent and stuff. If you can't find them over by the hardware crap, go look over there by the laundry stuff. You might find them. I'm not going to promise that. She didn't get a box, she just grabbed a little bag. Well, we're going to get this sprayed and get it dried up so we can put some poly on it and get this out to this customer who is very eagerly awaiting. I lied. There's a set of lights that goes on it too. So I'm going to get this painted, dried polyurethane, and then I'm going to put the lights on. So let's get the paint. Alright, now this first coat is on, you can see, especially right here, that, oh shit, my glove ripped. You can see where these knots and the different textures of the wood are. It is going to soak up this paint. So what you need to do is let this dry again for about 10 or 15 minutes and then come back and put your final coat on it. You don't want to take anything off. Don't take the stars off. Don't take your stripes off. Just let her set for about 15 minutes. That'll set up and that'll be able to show you where you need to hit it again. Or if you like the rustic farmhouse, that kind of style, you can just leave it like this. It doesn't look bad like this. Personally, if it was mine, I wouldn't mind it. But everybody has a different style. This lady wants it clean and she wants it crisp. So we're going to let it set up for about 20 minutes and we'll be back. Alright, it's been about 15-20 minutes or so. So now we're going to go back. Like I said, we're going to touch everything up. One more coat and we should be good to go. Get all this tore off here and we'll get some polyurethane on it. Alright, now that we have our second coat on, I'm not going to wait the full 15 minutes. I'm just going to wait, 5 minutes or so. Let everything set up just a little bit, see if there's more spaces that I need to hit. But initially, it all looks real good. I will tell you on the stars, I'm still not super great at the stars. They always run a little bit. I'm still working on that. It's just one of those things that I'm still having to get used to. I personally do not reuse this. Like I just buy this big cardstock and my wife just makes a new one every time I need it. If you plan on doing a few of these, it might be worth it to go ahead and get a piece of thin plastic and cut it out on your Cricut or Cry Cut, however the hell you say it. I've heard it 50 different ways from Sunday. Or have a buddy or a friend cut it out for you. I plan on doing that. I just haven't got to it yet. It's just, this is easy for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking tape off. This looks pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna have any issues. It might have ran a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna have anything else. It's holding up pretty good. It's not trying to soak in or dry, or soak in as it's drying. So we're gonna go ahead and peel the tape off and get a gander at her and see what she looks like. Okay, so we're back. I got everything pulled off. You can see a little bit of runs here and there. I'll just grab a black paintbrush and touch those up. This is what I was talking about with them stars. For some dadgum reason, I can never get them to work just right. I think a lot of it has to do with the paper I'm using, but it always does this crap. This is worse than usual, but it always does this. I'm gonna go grab a paintbrush and we're going to get this all touched up and fixed, and then we're going to polyurethane it, and I'm going to start the lights. Alright, we are back. I'm not gonna gloss it right now. I don't have any brushes. I've got a couple. So right now we're gonna put these lights on. I've never done a set of these lights. It comes with 2x4 strand for the outside, a little strand for the inside, or a circle for the inside, a little battery pack. You can turn it on manually, or you can use the remote. We're gonna try this. Oh, there's a piece I lost. I thought I lost a piece. Alright, not a good start. We're gonna give this a shot, see what it looks like. Hopefully it turns out good. I'm not gonna promise that, but we're gonna hope like hell it's that way. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, aside from a quick coat of polyurethane, which I'll do tomorrow, we are done. Got your blacks and your whites, it's all dry. Your burn look on the side looks amazing. And this light kit, which I got off of Amazon, it's pretty straightforward, it's very self-explanatory. They give you these little plastic eyelets, stick a screw in it, I mean it's there. Goes all the way around it. It is exactly 2 foot by 4 foot. You can see right here it's a real tight close, real close tight. The ring leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's good. You got your battery box. You have your manual override right here in case you lose your remote. Turn it on and off. Comes with a remote that you can turn it on and off with. Let's see what she looks like at night. Ooh. Boom. Turn that garage light back. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that is so sexy. I'm definitely a fan of the lights. I think it makes it look a whole lot better. I will attempt to link these in the description below and see if my wife can help me out with that. I think it adds an extra flair. I think it looks amazing. This button right here I said was on and off. I think yep, you can change patterns with it too. It looks gorgeous, guys. Ooh, that one's cool. Never seen that one before on any of the LEDs I've got. You can do any colors you want. I mean, you've got white, you got green. This customer in particular wanted red, so she has a red feature. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a cool little underglow underneath your board. Your battery pack, just flip it open, swings right open. Very accessible. You can get to it and do what you got to do. That is going to wrap up this episode. Sorry it took so long to get it out. My son's birthday was this weekend. We had a hell of a time. I didn't really work in the shop too much. Thank you guys for being here. If you want to see a different pattern, if you want to see a different game, I've got ideas for a Connect 4 game right now. I think that would be real cool for a big backyard game. If you guys have another one, let me know. If you have a design that you want done, get in contact with me. I can get it and mail it to you. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great Monday evening. I love all you guys for subscribing, for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys a lot more. Y'all have a good night.